All right, it is 6:30. We will call the May council meeting to order at this time. Welcome to the council, those in attendance and those watching at home. At this time, we will have the clerk call the roll.
Bolt. Here. Vanderkin.
Here.
Katarabik. Here. Bry.
Here.
Reckelberg.
Here.
Sikowitz.
Here.
Beeman.
Here.
Schley.
Here.
Cummings.
Here.
Sakala.
Here.
All present.
Thank you. At this time, will everyone please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? And if you could remain standing after the pledge for a prayer by our council president, Steve Sakala. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Almighty God, we commend to your gracious care and keeping all of our men and women of the Manitowoc Police Department. Defend them day by day with your heavenly grace. Strengthen them with their trials and temptations. Give them courage to face the perils which beset them, and grant them a sense of your abiding presence wherever they may be. We ask this through Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you, Alderman Sakala. Fitting on National Police Week, which we'll hear about in a couple minutes. We have quite a few presentations this evening, so we will start with the Manitowoc Fire Rescue Department. We have 4 individuals who will be having their pin on and 2 individuals who will be taking their oath of office. We're starting with Lieutenant Scott Larson, Lieutenant Bradley Oliveira, and motor pump operator Scott Vleski, who unfortunately just had to go out on a call, so he will not be here, but motor pump operator Tyler Keel will also be here. So, gentlemen, if you would like to please come forward, your families are more than welcome up as well. And Chief and anyone else from the fire department, if you could please come over to this side of the dais for support. We will do the badge pinnings for the fire department first. You want to say their names? Just bring them up here. We can badge.
start with Scott, I guess.
Okay.
By the microphone. And I'll just have you raise your right hand and repeat after me, please.
Okay.
I, Scott Larson,
I, Scott Larson,
solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Wisconsin,
and the Constitution of the State of Wisconsin,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
of Fire Lieutenant for the City of Manitowoc
of Fire Lieutenant for the City of Manitowoc
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations. And take- can you sign just that line,
Which one?
please?
Up here?
This one, yep. And then I think Bradley's next. If you please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Bradley Oliveira,
I, Bradley Oliveira,
solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
solemnly swear I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Wisconsin,
and the Constitution of the State of Wisconsin,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I'll faithfully discharge the duties
of Fire Lieutenant
of Fire
for
Lieutenant
the City of Manitowoc
for the City of Manitowoc
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I think that needs signature.
Thanks. You're a guy. Thank you. Congratulations. All right, congratulations on your promotions, everyone, for the Manitowoc Fire and Rescue Department. Thank you to everyone being here for this. The next one is for Police Department. We have 2 promotions within the Police Department. That'll be the badge pinning for Lieutenant Cooper Schmidt and Detective Eric Schultz. So if both of you could please come up with your families, and also any other officer who is here, could you please follow suit what the fire department did? Thank you so much for taking the lead there, sir. Everyone follow Delsman, you'll be good. But we need, yeah, well, that's true. Well, the guy behind you. All right, do we have, okay, good.
Whoever wants to.
Okay, works for me. Works for me.
So you've heard it twice now, so I'm just going to read the whole thing, right?
No promises.
Okay.
Yeah, no
If you
promises.
please raise your right hand, repeat after me. I, Cooper Schmidt,
I, Cooper Schmidt,
solemnly swear I will support the Constitution of the United States
solemnly swear to support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Wisconsin,
and the Constitution of the State of Wisconsin,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
of Police Lieutenant for the City of Manitowoc
of Police Lieutenant for the City of Manitowoc
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
The signature at that top line, please.
There we go. That works. That works.
How does that happen?
Yeah, you just want to stay here for a second? Sure, Eric, you want to come on up? We'll let you say hi to the council after this.
Yeah, great. Hello.
You ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Raise your right hand, repeat after me, please. I, Eric Schultz,
I, Eric Schultz,
solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Wisconsin,
and the Constitution of the State of Wisconsin,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
of Detective for the City of Manitowoc
of Detective for the City of Manitowoc
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations. Next sign right there.
These are too easy, come on. Sheesh.
Congratulations, thank you.
Yeah, so you want to go say it? Don't tempt me. All right, congratulations to all of our firefighters and police officers on their promotions, the city of Manitowoc. Kind of fitting, as yesterday was Peace Officer Memorial Day, and this week is National Police Week. So our first proclamation this evening, I'm going to ask Chief Nick Reimer to please come up and accept the proclamation and say a few words, of course. But we will read the proclamation for National Police Week and Peace Officer Memorial Day. It reads, whereas Congress and the President of the United States have designated May 15th as Peace Officers Memorial Day and the week in which May 15th falls as National Police Week. And whereas the members of the law enforcement agency of Manitowoc play an essential role in safeguarding the rights and freedoms of Manitowoc. And whereas it is important that all citizens know and understand the duties, responsibilities, hazards, and sacrifices of their law enforcement agency, and that members of our law enforcement agency recognize their duty to serve the people by safeguarding life and property, by protecting them against violence and disorder, and by protecting the innocent against deception and the weak against oppression. And whereas the people of the law enforcement agency of the city of Manitowoc unceasingly provide a vital public service. Now therefore I, Justin Nichols, Mayor of the city of Manitowoc, in recognition of this event, do hereby proclaim the week of May 15th through the 21st, 2022 as National Police Week and encourage the community to observe this week with appropriate programs, ceremonies, and activities commemorating law enforcement officers, past and present, who, by their faithful and loyal devotion to their responsibilities, have rendered a dedicated service to their communities and in doing so have established for themselves an enviable and enduring reputation for preserving the rights and security of all citizens. And further, I further call upon all citizens of Manitowoc to observe May 15th, 2022 as Peace Officer Memorial Day in honor of those law enforcement officers who, through their courageous deeds, have made the ultimate sacrifice in service to their community or have become disabled in the performance of duty. And let us recognize and pay respect to the survivors of our fallen heroes. Chief, if you'd like to please say a few words.
Thank you. Well, first of all, I'd like to thank the council for dressing up for this event. This is really, really nice of you. But seriously, this proclamation is very important, and I want to thank the mayor and the council for the proclamation. It talks about two different things. Number one, the individuals that made the ultimate sacrifice. And we have three of them from the city of Manitowoc: Fred Miller, Lawrence Metzger, and Dale Tenhaken. All lost their life in the line of duty. And it's important to remember them. Because we had a ceremony outside the courthouse at about 2:45 today, which was nice, and we talked about everything that happened, that ended their lives. But it was how they lived that truly made them heroes, and I just want everyone to know that, and I appreciate the proclamation. Then, of course, the twofold factor here is really that we're talking about a proclamation for all those officers that are still serving and really have that thread each and every day that they put the badge on and the gun belt on, and they go out and serve the community. People that they don't even know, they put their life on the line for them. But we really feel like with the support from the council, with all the equipment and the staffing that you give us, you're making it as safe as possible. It's a dangerous job, obviously, but we want to thank you for all that, and thank you for the proclamation.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Chief, very much. Our next proclamation is for Mental Health Awareness Month, and we have several members from Painting Pathways, NAMI, and other wonderful groups throughout the community. But up here this time is accepting Brian Carmen, if you'd like to please come up and accept the proclamation. I believe on behalf of Painting Pathways, correct? All right. Oh, it is. And you can say something too if you want. It's your moment. All right. So Mental Health Awareness Month. So I'll read the proclamation. It reads, whereas Mental Health Month was established in 1949 by Mental Health America to increase awareness of the importance of mental health and wellness in Americans' lives and to celebrate recovery from mental illness. And whereas the purpose of this recognition is to raise awareness and educate the public about mental illness, including conditions like depression, schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, and reduce the stigma surrounding mental illness. And whereas some of the most successful efforts that have promoted acceptance, support, prevention, and recovery from mental health conditions include, but are not limited to, the Affordable Care Act, the Community Mental Health Services Block Grant, the Mental Health Parity and Addiction Equality Act of 2008, and the Garrett Lee Smith State and Tribal Suicide Prevention Program. And whereas the Affordable Care Act expanded health insurance coverage to approximately 30 million Americans, and an estimated 11 million of those individuals will now have access to substance abuse and/or mental health services. And whereas each May we raise awareness about the importance of mental health and its impact on the well-being of all Americans, including children, adults, families, and communities across our nation, as well as an opportunity to recognize additional statistics closer to home. And whereas, according to the Wisconsin Department of Health Services, in 2020, 68,324 people received mental health services in the state of Wisconsin, and 1,234 of those people were right here in Manitowoc County. And whereas, while support for individuals with mental illness has dramatically increased since the deinstitutionalization movement of the 1940s, there is still much support needed in order to promote recognition and tolerance of mental illness. And whereas we are grateful for the local resources whose focus is mental illness and are available to us, including Painting Pathways Clubhouse, the National Alliance on Mental Illness, or NAMI, and Prevent Suicide in conjunction with a wide range of mental health therapies and care. Now therefore, I, Justin Nichols, Mayor of the City of Manitowoc, do hereby proclaim the month of May 2022 as Mental Health Awareness Month in the City of Manitowoc and recognize Mental Health America's theme for 2022 to be Back to Basics. Brian, would you like to say a few words or no? Absolutely, there you go. All right.
Thank you, Mayor.
Absolutely.
All right. Absolutely. I want to thank Sierra for this. I knew I would be speaking, but I wasn't sure I was going to get the proclamation, so it's a little bit of a shocker. I've been a member since 2011 and Painting Pathways, and I'm sure a lot of other people will echo it, has been a life changer for me. I won't get into all the specifics, but as far as the community has just been great to us throughout the years since I've known, and just so much support. In fact, we just have this new beautiful location where the old place was, and I've heard that it's already paid off. So, and I'm thinking at least $1 million, and that's comes from the community, and we really appreciate so much. And I guess I'll just speak on behalf of all the past, present, and future members, staff, board, volunteers, and the community for all the support. And I have to mention, don't have to, but I want to mention in a special way, Jennifer Schultz, who just stepped down as our executive director, and she's for many years has been a tireless advocate and such. She's just been incredible, and now we have Brian stepping in her shoes. I know they're big shoes, but I think you're up to it. So thank you so much to the community for all you do for Painting Pathways and all those of us with mental illness.
Thank you, Brian. Hey, there you go. Don't forget the proclamation. That's all yours. Thanks, Brian. Very well stated, Brian. Thank you very much. All right, our next presentation is from Progress Lakeshore. We have the Executive Director, Jamie Zastro, here to give an annual update.
All right, all this fancy stuff I gotta figure out up here.
You're good to go whenever you want.
All right, all right. So I'm Jamie Zastro. I'm the Executive Director of Progress Lakeshore. I've been in this role for just over a year, so this is my first time in this role in front of council. I know there's some familiar faces, but also some new people on council, so it's really good to see you and to talk a little bit about what we do at Progress Lakeshore. Some of you that have been here a while, this might be a little bit of a refresher, but I'll talk about some of the things we're doing going forward, as well as what we've done in the past. Oh, wrong one. There, how about that? Our organization started in 2003 as a private nonprofit organization with public and private investors collaborating to help businesses grow to create a vibrant local economy. The creation of what is now Progress Lakeshore was in response to the closing of the Miro Corporation in Manitowoc. The founders studied a number of successful economic development organizations across the country and discovered that a key to success involves creating private and public collaborations. This structure allows for seamless navigating for businesses looking to do business in Manitowoc. A business can seek counseling, business assistance, or help in retaining or expanding their workforce from Progress Lakeshore, and it's kept confidential. But what does economic development really mean? It's the intentional practice of improving a community's economic well-being and quality of life. Progress Lakeshore facilitates and encourages local economic growth through new capital investment into the expansion of businesses, production capacity, and growth into new markets. The goal of this growth is maintenance of existing jobs, creation of new jobs, and more money circulating in the local economy, which of course results in a larger property tax base to spread out the cost of government. Here you can see a brief synopsis of the challenges that come with economic development in any community. And this is a big task. This is a big list, bigger than this slide can really show. And City Hall can't do everything, even though there is awesome staff here in City Hall. But it's our role as an organization to understand our local and regional business environment and to prioritize efforts based on current economic needs. What was needed in this community when Miro closed is not necessarily what we need to spend our time on today. Our role really is to coordinate the efforts of many stakeholders and organizations focused on improving the economic environment and quality of life of Manitowoc County. This involves collaborating beyond the city limits, and we have many partners in this effort. Economic development is much more than just business attraction. We are about fostering partnerships with existing organizations that also support business retention and expansion and entrepreneurship. You can see the list is long of who we partner with. We maintain strong connections with these partners and collaborate whenever possible because we can't be all things to everyone either. We take pride in coordinating multiple layers of some projects by bringing the right players to the table. And we have over 50 private investors that see value in these efforts. We also partner with the cities of Manitowoc and Kiel and the village of Mishicot, enhancing their economic development efforts coordinated by their staff and their councils. By working together, we recognize that a rising tide lifts all boats. We say that a lot in Manitowoc, don't we? So why invest in economic development in good times, like when Miro isn't leaving town? A strong economy is really the best time to invest in people and places for future payoff and continue growing the tax base. The evolution of economic growth and development shows that currently communities are refocusing their attention on making their community attractive to people. The placemaking idea is that if we make the community as attractive to people as possible, people will want to live in a community, and this in turn creates business opportunities. Additional strategies that leverage economic growth is to expand opportunities, including helping marginalized populations enter the workforce, helping businesses tap into diverse labor pools, helping entrepreneurs and small businesses start and expand, improving educational systems and their offerings to reflect the workforce needs of the current economy. And with that, I will go to what we are focused on here in our community, where the economy is pretty strong right now. Our 2021 dashboard shows a number of statistics related to our activities last year, and there is a full copy in your folder. This is just a little brief synopsis on the slide. In 2021, Progress Lakeshore collaborated with 15 different organizations throughout the county and our region. You saw many of those collaborations on a previous slide. These are essential to our operations and our mission as they allow us to better serve our investors and partners by expanding the resources and how we can connect to them. Workforce assistance requests include companies that attended our job fairs, participated in our annual benefit survey, or received more direct assistance based on their needs, like connecting them to training opportunities at LTC or the Youth Apprenticeship Program, veteran services, marketing consultants, things that that individual business might have needed. Business retention assistance includes interactions with businesses to provide assistance or guidance to overcome a challenge or plan for the next level of their business. The pandemic increased our focus on retaining our existing businesses in the county, that's for sure. We provided direct counseling to businesses, connected them with financial resources, including SBA emergency disaster loans, PPP loans, We're All In grants, WEDC bounce back grants, you've all heard them in the news. And we provided significant COVID-19 resources to many businesses through our distribution channels. Business attraction and expansion assistance ranges from helping a business find a location in Manitowoc County to providing data or market research needed in their decision-making process. It also includes connecting a business to financial resources that they might need. The entrepreneur statistics on the dashboard reflect the work done assisting potential startup businesses. We provide one-to-one counseling for entrepreneurs, connecting them to peers and other resources that they might need. We maintain strong relationships with SCORE, the Small Business Development Center, WIBIC, and other organizations to make referrals as necessary. As you can see in 2021, and even before that in 2020, our traditional programs and activities were really turned on their head, but we maintained our focus on 4 strategic initiatives: workforce, business retention and expansion, entrepreneurship, and community collaboration. So here now are a couple of the highlights from last year. We played an active role in planning of the Lakeshore community job fairs that were held. The 2021 spring event was held virtually, and then the fall event was held in person in Sheboygan. We recently held the 2022 spring event at the Holiday Inn, and there were 46 employers. We maxed out at 50, so we really were sold out. There was a waiting list for employers, and 34 of them were from Manitowoc. We also conducted our annual benefits survey and presented the results to the employers that participated. This data gives our employers the information they need to make decisions to keep them competitive when they're recruiting employees. We held a workforce roundtable last June where HR leaders got together at the Wisconsin Maritime Museum for presentations from Rebecca Deshane, the Vice President of Talent Development at the New North, and Jeff Grunwald, the Dean of Apprenticeship and Economic Development at LTC. Jeff presented ideas to shorten the time from hire to production with a manufacturing onboarding cohort idea, and he also provided information on workforce training grants that are available to employers. Rebecca shared information about best practices for workforce attraction, including connecting to the military and veteran attraction efforts in conjunction with Mission Wisconsin. Last year, we hosted 2 Let's Talk Business events. The first was focused on the SBA resources around COVID-19 relief. And in December, we had Jason Prigge from Vagabond Studios give a presentation about social media for workforce attraction. We stay connected to developers to showcase the opportunities available in Manitowoc County. We attended and had a booth display at the In Development Conference held last September at the KI Convention Center in Green Bay. We also hosted a developers tour in October, inviting over 75 developers to come and see the great properties and opportunities here for development. We continue to distribute information digitally and have scheduled individual visits for some of those developers who weren't able to attend. And we look forward to forthcoming conversations with some of these potential community investors. We also respond to site requests we receive, some from the New North and some from other regional partners or directly to our office. We do that on a regular basis, and those statistics are also listed on that dashboard. Groundbreakings and ribbon cuttings are awesome celebrations, and many of you attend those as well with us here in some of these pictures. We celebrated a few last year, and we are excited as we watch some of these fantastic projects underway, and we love being part of the Businesses Open ribbon cuttings after we are digging in the dirt. And then in an effort to promote and support local businesses and entrepreneurs, we created the Local Box of Love last year. This fundraiser was designed to highlight many of the small businesses in Manitowoc County and the unique products they have to offer. We have the 2022 Local Box in the works, and we'll be having that late in the fall this year, ready for Christmas giving. We also held our first Perfect Your Pitch series this past fall. This event was designed to help individuals fine-tune their business idea and essentially pitch it at our local pitch event. Emily Rustikin was the winner of the local Manitowoc County event and then went on to win the New North Regional event as well. She pitched her business idea, the High Lift, which is coming soon to downtown Two Rivers. As I stated earlier, economic development is much more than business attraction. Business attraction will always be a part of economic development, but it isn't the only thing. Sustained business growth, entrepreneur development, and workforce attraction are three of the important topics that led the discussion at our strategic planning session last fall. And that is really where we can contribute the most to our collaborations. Three key initiatives will lead our efforts for the next 3 years. Encouraging entrepreneurship is a growing strategy in rural America and beyond. Small businesses contribute to employment and the vibrancy of the economy. Locally, they generate wealth, provide much-needed services, and become business and community leaders. Building an entrepreneurial ecosystem is key to long-term support of startup and scale-up activity. Progress Lakeshore will focus on providing greater resources to entrepreneurs, connecting them to peers, and employ the most recent innovations in technology to help them grow their businesses. Getting the workforce component right is one of the most important aspects in a globally competitive world and an economy increasingly driven by knowledge and innovation. Workforce is the primary concern of businesses when looking to expand, stay, relocate in any area, and increasingly more important than some traditional economic factors. We go on business visits, we don't get to the 5-minute mark without talking about workforce when we go on our visits. We will work to identify and assure our community is addressing barriers to employment, and we will create a targeted workforce attraction marketing plan. One of the big topics in our community, as many of you know, is limited childcare capacity. And this is exacerbated by a shortage of childcare workers. We are very active in the Early Childhood Education Community Consortium, working with collaborative partners to address the challenges of this multifaceted issue. And we are the lead applicant in recent grant proposals submitted to bring funds to our community designated to this effort. We will also continue to work with our partners to align workers to available jobs and support HR professionals with resources and data that they need. Business retention and expansion is a core component of our programs in addition to efforts to attract new businesses as always. Existing businesses form the local and regional economic base, and studies have shown that businesses already existing in a community are responsible for up to 80% of net local employment. BRE efforts assist businesses by helping them survive economic challenges, like we've seen in the last couple of years, assist with expansions that add new jobs and increase their competitiveness in a wider marketplace. Businesses looking to locate here or expand need accurate, up-to-date, and credible information. As an economic development organization, we are resource brokers. We connect businesses to the resources and data they need to make these decisions. We will continue to respond to requests for information and promote our county as a cooperative and desirable place to do business. And as with any strategic plans, there are tactics and measurement tools and things associated with each of these initiatives. So if you want to chat about more details, I'm happy to do that and talk about that at any time. But there is a copy of the strategic plan also in your folders. And lastly, our most recent event was our 11th Annual Excellence in Economic Development Awards breakfast held at the venue at Union Square. And I just want to celebrate some of these winners. It was really a great event, and we're always happy to celebrate our local businesses. It was an event celebrating projects, businesses, and people who have strengthened our local economy, even during a very unique time in our community and our world. And it was really great to be back in person at that new venue. So just to highlight our winners, the Entrepreneurial Achievement Award recognizes an individual or emerging business that has developed their ideas, products, or services into a viable competitive business while positively impacting the community. The award was presented to Brennan Seehafer for his development of the venue at Union Square and expanding the wharf from a seasonal experimental shipping container space into a hip year-round destination with a permanent facility and outdoor music space. Honorable mention in this category was presented to Bricks. The Neighborhood Development Award was presented to Petskill Brewing. This award recognizes innovative real estate development or reuse projects which are purposely built or adaptively reused to enhance the community. Petskill Brewing's new expanded location took an old tannery, idle for 4 decades, and turned it into a premier destination for locals and visitors. This project also marked the start of the growing River Point District. Honorable mention in this category was presented to Mike Howe Builders' Union Square renovation. The Corporate Investment Award was presented to a business that has made a positive economic impact in the community through capital investment, has developed product innovation, and has gone above and beyond to enhance their workforce. Redline Plastics, the winner of this award, completed a 103,000 square foot expansion, which followed their initial build from 2019. Their capital investment not only includes facility space, but investment into equipment and their workforce through leadership training and formational programs. Honorable mention in this category was presented to Broadwind Konecranes. The Community Enhancement Award was presented to the Boys and Girls Club of Manitowoc County. This award recognizes a business or organization that has made a substantial impact on the quality of life in Manitowoc County. Opening the doors this past year, the Boys and Girls Club provides a safe, positive environment where supportive adult mentors engage with kids in meaningful, interesting, and constructive activities that help them learn and grow. 2 honorable mentions were given in this category, and they were presented to Lakeshore First Robotics and the Kiel Area Community Food Pantry. And the final award, Economic Accelerator of the Year, recognizes an individual or an organization that has played a key leadership role in economic development, workforce development, entrepreneurship, community collaboration, or business retention and expansion. Nominees demonstrate effective leadership in mobilizing the development of programs and projects and are an advocate for economic development. This award was presented to Sachin Shivaran. Sachin is the CEO of Wisconsin Aluminum Foundry and was honored for his thought leadership that drives innovative solutions to workforce and economic development issues. His company has grown their Manitowoc workforce by nearly 100 people in the last 18 months, raising wages by over 17%. He models ethical leadership principles and offers compelling strategic vision that has an impact at a local, regional, and state level. His willingness to collaborate and partner on key issues helps drive conversations to affect change. He does not hesitate to speak peer-to-peer with our area industry leaders on topics relative to corporate responsibility to both their employees and the community. Honorable mention in this catalog was presented to Wine Knot LLC, Kurt and Jean Andrews, and Barry and Gina Cron of Two Rivers. In addition, Jason Prigge of Vagabond Creative Studio presented the Coolest Coast Champion Award to Kathy Green of the Wisconsin Maritime Museum for her adept leadership as she has navigated a path to keeping the museum relevant, alive, and an exciting place to discover why Manitowoc is Wisconsin Maritime's capital. And with that, I will stop talking and answer any questions you might have or comments.
Thank you, Jamie. Are there any questions for Jamie or comments? Doesn't look like, oh, Alderman Sakala.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just want to say, Progress Lakeshore really does a lot of great things for the business community. And I am very proud to say that the City of Manitowoc is working fantastically with them. So thank you.
Thank you, Alderman Sakala. Anything else? All right, thank you, Jamie, for the presentation.
All right.
All right, we'll move on to public hearing. We have, oh, there you go. Thanks, Tom. By the way, Tom Drill, it's your birthday today, I believe. Am I wrong? It's your birthday. It's, well, I, there you go. Thanks, Tom. Yeah, good. Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Jamie, for the presentation. All right, we have one public hearing. Is for purpose of hearing any and all interested parties in the matter of a proposed change in zone from R4 single and two-family residential to B3 general business for property located 2500 Washington Street and 900 block of South 25th and 26th Streets. We'll have the clerk read the proof of publication.
Notice of this public hearing was published in the Herald Times Reporter on May 2nd and May 9th.
Thank you. Adam Tagan, Community Development Director.
All right, thank you. As noted, this is a request for rezoning from R4, single family, to B3 general business. In a nutshell, the property owner to the south owns 2 vacant lots. They are looking to expand their business, so as a result, they need to make sure the zoning is correct. If the rezoning is approved, their intent is to expand the building and the parking lot to better serve their clientele. Ultimately, we felt it was consistent with the comprehensive plan for the area, and it went through public informational hearing before the Planning Commission. At that hearing, one neighbor did show up and just noted that they are working with the property owner to try and get some additional fencing and site screening along the north end of the property, so that conversation continues. It is our intent to deal with that through the site plan review process. We can't apply conditions to a rezoning request. So ultimately, staff still recommends approval of the rezoning request, and the Plan Commission recommended approval as well.
Thank you, Adam. Any questions from the council at this time? Seeing none, this is a public hearing for anyone from the public who is interested in speaking on this specific subject matter. You may do so at this time. Anyone interested in speaking? Going once, twice. Did we have any other previously submitted? We did not. All right, we'll close this public hearing. We'll move to public input. If there's anyone from the public interested in speaking on anything germane to the business of the city of Manitowoc, you may do so at this time. Is there anyone interested in speaking on anything germane to the business of the city of Manitowoc? Going once, twice. Any previously submitted?
None.
And we will close public input. We'll move to appointments, and I have a couple this evening. To the RAR West Art Museum Board, Joseph Sabilka, and it's a reappointment, and Cassie Lapine, it's an appointment. And to COG, these are all from the Finance Committee, Adam Tagan, Nick Reimer, Todd Blazer, Greg Badney, Dan Koski, and JJ Waldorf. I'd look for a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Motion second, discussion. Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? Motion carried unanimously. We'll move to consent agenda. Anything to be removed from the consent agenda? Yes, Alderman Vanderkin.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I would like to remove off the Finance Committee agenda 22-0413, please.
0413. Okay, the claims. All right. Anything else to be removed?
It's the approval to engage in a recruitment firm to assist the hiring department.
Oh,
Not
whoops.
one.
0413. I had 0431. I'm sorry. A little dyslexia right there. All right. Anything else to be removed from the consent agenda? Seeing none then, all those in favor of the consent agenda as amended? Oh, no, sorry, we need a motion to approve.
So moved.
Yes, sorry.
Second.
Motion second. No discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried unanimously. Sorry about that. We'll move to page, where are we going? Page 6, under committee reports, item I. We'll start with Committee of the Whole and Council President Steve Sakala.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The clerk has our documents.
We have document 430, which is a proposal from the Herald Times Reporter to publish council proceedings, legal notices, display ads, and ordinances for the contract year beginning June 1st, 2022. Committee returns same, recommending approval.
Council pleasure on this report.
Move to approve the agreement, Mr. Mayor.
Second.
Motion second, discussion. Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried unanimously.
Document 458 is a report of the Special Events Committee for various special events upcoming. Committee returns same, recommending approval of the report and placing on file.
Council pleasure on this report.
Move to approve the report, Mr. Mayor.
Second.
Motion and a second, discussion. Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried unanimously. Anything else, Council President Sakala?
No, Mr. Mayor, that concludes our business.
Thank you. We'll move then to the Finance Committee, and Alderman Jim Bry is chair.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The clerk has the 2 documents we're going to discuss.
Document 413 is an approval to engage a recruitment firm to assist with hiring of department head vacancies. Committee returns same, recommending to approve the request.
Council, your pleasure on this report.
Move for the adoption of the committee's report, Mr. Mayor.
Second.
Motion and second discussion. Alderman Vanderkin.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Is there any reason why the HR department can't recruit for these positions? I mean, the number given at the finance committee was about $40,000 to hire this firm, and we could easily give a signing bonus and cut that price in half. I mean, I don't understand why HR can't recruit. Is there a rationale for this at all?
Alderman Bry, otherwise I can help you.
Yeah, you can certainly help, and if Jesse would like to speak as well. As you know, Alderman Vanderkin, we have 3 major vacancies right now. We have the finance director, soon to be a city attorney, and the assistant city attorney. So not that I'm not saying that the HR department isn't capable of doing this stuff, but it is pretty much a lot of work and a lot of stuff to do. So after discussing at the finance committee, we decided to go this route.
Thank you, Alderman Bry. Alderman Sitkowitz.
Yeah, as the chair of personnel, I fully support at now and at finance, the use of firms to essentially headhunt department heads. I think when we take a look at, well, if you take a look at every month we get an update from HR, and the HR office is constantly recruiting. The city of Manitowoc is constantly recruiting for individuals. We do a lot of hiring on a monthly basis. So the fact that we have some large vacancies, and when I say large, at top level, executive level department heads is what's needed. So we have our normal reach, but this actually takes it to a larger level and gets the word out a little bit farther that we're hiring and can actually target individuals who are job ready, or that next rising star that may not see a posting or that we may not be able to reach through our normal methods. So while the number can be somewhat large, that just speaks to the talent that can go get and how tight that job market is right now. So I think we need to put all our resources into bringing in that top talent, because a bad hire can cost us a lot more than a short-term fix. So I fully support it. I think that's a national trend out there for using search firms for high-level positions, not just in the public sector, but in the private sector as well. I've known many individuals who've been tapped on the shoulder. We have some who are leaving us now because they were tapped on the shoulder. So that's not a uncommon trend. So I think we need to get on that trend.
Thank you, Alderman Sitkowitz. I'll just add, the HR department currently has 37 positions open that we're recruiting for right now. We had 3 applicants for city attorney and, 3 for city attorney and 1 for finance director after almost 4 weeks of advertising in our typical realms, and also in the specific worlds of like the GFOA for finance and all that. And I can tell you, I was just at a League of Municipalities meeting. There are 5 cities that are our size or larger that are looking for a finance director right now. So we are competing against a lot of different factors. And the HR department right now is just jam-packed with a lot of recruitments for other positions. And I would echo what Alderman Sitkowitz said. For these 2 high-level positions, I think it definitely makes sense to make sure we get the right candidate. So that is the rationale. Alderman Reckelberg.
Yes, if you watched or looked at the Finance Committee, as you probably remember, I was not exactly happy with the situation either, but I explained my stance and I still went along with it because I understand how difficult it is to have your attorney, assistant attorney, and a finance person, and I even hear there might be 1 or 2 more, who knows? And I know all about getting phone calls from headhunters, and they're out there, and I think in this case right now, under these circumstances, we need them. So you can be disappointed or a little whatever like I was, but I think it's needed, and that's why I supported it. Thank you.
Thank you, Alderman Reckelberg. Any further discussion? Alderwoman Katarabek.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We also talked about at the Finance Committee meeting that there's essentially a cost to not doing this faster as well on our staff, because they're busy, but then also we have who is taking over for finance. Yes, there is a cost that we're giving her to take over those positions, but then that's more on her mental health, that's more on her plate for everyone involved. So.
Thank you. Any further conversation? The motion is to approve. Alderman Reckelberg.
I forgot to say that there is a limit on the payment. I think it was 25%. They normally go anywhere from 10 to 25% of the salary offered, and there was a limit put on that, just.
Correct,
so
for
they
each
know.
position, correct, yeah.
Thank you.
And we did do that initial research and everything, and just today's world, I mean, this is not an uncommon practice anymore. The firm we found, their average was 30%, but for governments, they do 25%. But we could not find one for less than 25% that is qualified, especially in the government world. But the norm is 30, so, right now, because of the job market out there, so. Yeah, and you know, Alderman Vanderkin, that's a good point to bring this up because we're not used to doing this. This is not, I don't think in my time, I don't think we've ever gone out to recruit for like this. Or Alderman Bry, in your time, I don't think we've ever, so.
And it's been mentioned many times here tonight, you can look at it bad, good, whatever, but unfortunately, the world has changed and this job market has definitely changed. You know, I tend to agree with you, you know, that's why we have an HR department and stuff, I'm not gonna disagree there, but this is not, I'm not taking away from Jesse and the department, but this is a whole different world now regarding these positions.
Thank you. Alderman Sitkowitz.
I mean, we just heard in the last presentation by Progress Lakeshore that you, on your business tours, Mayor, with Jamie, you can't get 5 minutes in without hearing about workforce and where's workforce coming from. So when you see those, we're hiring signs out at the local businesses, you know, the city wants to run like a business as well, and we're constantly hiring and recruiting too, and that's a huge task on the HR department already. So I think this, again, when we're looking at that top level, we'd want to get somebody that we can tap on the shoulder and get in these positions as soon as we can.
Not to beat the dead horse here either, but, you know, these, when we talk about two positions that are critical to the operations and that can save you way more money than we would ever spend in recruiting, city attorney and finance director probably are the absolute top two that you could think of, so, I think it makes a lot of sense. Alderman Cummings.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
I don't think you're on.
It's on. There we go.
There you go, sorry.
All right, new spot.
They didn't put the new names in, so
Gotcha.
still have Bruner on here. I don't know.
All right, thank you, Mr. Mayor. And then you kind of took that a little bit from me on your, stole the thunder a little bit. But realistically, from my time on council so far, I felt that we've been blessed with the employees that we have. I mean, we have great employees, have been impressed by the job they've done, the work ethic they've done. And the people that are leaving, I think, will leave a big hole. And so if we can go and hire somebody to at least get to the standard that we left, by all means forth. I mean, I've also been on the personnel committee and, you know, Ms. Lilbridge has done an excellent job and I have no reason to question her ability to find somebody, but if she's asking for help, she's a consummate professional and I think we should be able to support that to get that. Because that can't be an easy task either to go and, you know, put up that much money per se and to ask the request for it. But hiring the right people in the right spot is what the city of Manitowoc needs. And if we can provide that and that infrastructure, make that happen, then I think we do it.
Yes, thank you. Any further discussion? Seeing none, then all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried unanimously. We'll take the other item on finance.
Document 433 is a report of the Industrial Development Corporation of the relocation of private contractor storage yard to the Hecker-Vebon Industrial Park. Committee returned same, recommending to authorize city staff to work with McMullen and Pitts Construction Company on the negotiation and closing for the exchange of McMullen and Pitts' land located on the River Point Peninsula and city-owned property located west of Hecker Road and south of West Vebon Street.
Council, your pleasure on this report.
Move for the adoption of the committee's report, Mr. Mayor.
Second.
Motion and second discussion.
That's why you need a good attorney.
Yeah.
And
And community development. Yeah. Any further discussion? Seeing none, then all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried unanimously. Anything else, Alderman Bry?
Yes, two things. First, our next finance meeting will be Tuesday, June 7th at 5:30 PM. And on the lighter side, I guess we're doing a little reminiscing the last week and seeing that the SS Badger came in last Thursday, and Alderman Sitkowitz and the mayor were there to greet the people from Ludington. I was looking through some things in my basement, and all of a sudden I found these mugs here up on our desk, I guess, for lack of a better term. And that was just on the Common Council for a couple of weeks, but the maiden voyage happened in May of 1992, and I thought it was pretty impressive. 30 years already, the SS Badger has been returning to Manitowoc. And you want to talk about an economic development boost, that definitely has, not just in tourism, but I guess over the years, you've seen them haul wind towers, tractors. I saw some balers sitting there. Jody and I took a ride there, and I just been waiting to go over. So thank you. I know you're watching us in heaven. Charles Conrad, Chuck, as we know him, had that vision way back in 1991 and purchased the old facilities in Ludington and here in Manitowoc and worked with get the SS Badger going. So congratulations. It's awesome. It's been great.
Thank you, Alderman Bry.
I think it was financial.
Yep, that was financial, yeah. We put enough money into that dock over the last few years, yeah. It's all good. Thank you. We will move now to the Personnel Committee, and Alderman Eric Sitkowitz is the chair.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The clerk has our documents.
We have document 434, which is a resolution to change job title from Destination Marketing Manager to Destination Sales and Marketing Manager in the Tourism Department. Committee returns same, recommending adopting the resolution.
What's your pleasure on this resolution?
Move for the adoption of the committee's report, Mr. Mayor.
Second.
Motion and a second. Discussion. Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried unanimously.
Document 435 is a resolution to hire seasonal employees related to elected officials, department heads, or supervisory personnel. Committee returns same, recommending adopting the resolution.
Council, your pleasure on this resolution?
Move for the adoption of the committee's report, Mr. Mayor.
Second.
Motion and a second. Discussion. Seeing none, all those in favor?
I believe this is a roll call vote.
Oh, that is correct. That is a roll call vote. Good point. Thank you. We'll have the clerk call the roll.
Bolt.
Aye.
Vanderkin.
Aye.
Katarabik.
Aye.
Bry.
Aye.
Reckelberg.
Aye.
Sikowitz.
Aye.
Beeman.
Aye.
Schley.
Aye.
Cummings.
Aye.
Sakala.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Thank you.
Document 436 is a resolution to approve the revised city social media policy guidelines and expectations. Committee returns same, recommending adopting the resolution.
Council, your pleasure on this resolution?
Move for the adoption of the committee's report, Mr. Mayor.
Second.
Motion and a second. Discussion. Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried unanimously. Anything else, Alderman Sitkowitz?
Just one thing, and as everybody who knows as a chair, you have oversight department heads. So I've been the pleasure of working with two of the best, but I have one that's leaving me. So I just wanted to wish Kathleen the best of luck. It's been a pleasure working with you as finance chair and council president. I think when you're council president, Steve, and a couple of the others who can speak to it, the only department head you really have contact with is the attorney, and it's not always a lot of fun. So I've had that pleasure, but then as personnel, again, to work with Kathleen as well. So wish you the best of luck, Kathleen, and thank you for the musical tie. And that completes our business.
Thank you, Alderman Sitkowitz. We'll move to the Public Infrastructure Committee, and Alderman Mike Cummings is chair.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The clerk has our documents.
Document 273 is an intermunicipal agreement with the Town of Manitowoc, Town of Newton, Manitowoc Public Utilities, and the City of Manitowoc for water service. Committee returns same, recommending to enter into the agreement.
What's your pleasure on this report?
We move it to enter into the agreement, Mr. Mayor.
Second.
Motion and a second. Discussion. Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried unanimously.
Document 330 is an ordinance to amend Section 14.575 of the Municipal Code regulating sexual offender residency restrictions. Committee returns same, recommending to adopt the ordinance.
What's your pleasure on this ordinance?
We recommend adopting the ordinance, Mr. Mayor.
Second.
Motion and a second. Discussion. Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried unanimously.
Document 407 is a task order with Strand Associates for stormwater hydrology and hydraulic study. Committee returns same, recommending to accept and award.
What's your pleasure on this report?
We recommend to accept and award the agreement, Mr. Mayor.
Second.
Motion and a second. Discussion. Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried unanimously.
Document 409 is a proposed change to the cemetery rules and regulations. Committee returns same, recommending approval.
What's your pleasure on this report?
We recommend to approve the changes, Mr. Mayor.
Second.
Motion and a second. Discussion. Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried unanimously.
Document 411 is a resolution from Manitowoc Public Utilities for ornamental lighting at River Point Development. Committee returns same, recommending to adopt the resolution.
What's your pleasure on this resolution?
We recommend to adopt the resolution, Mr. Mayor.
Second.
Motion and a second, discussion. Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried unanimously.
Document 451 is a permanent utility easement located on Jenny Road between Cimarron Court and South 19th Street for placement of water main utilities. Committee returns same, recommending approval.
Council, your pleasure on this report.
Recommend approval, Mr. Mayor.
Second.
Motion and a second, discussion. Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried unanimously.
Document 453 is a request to award alternate number 2 at a cost of $258,168.80 with a completion date of November 18th, 2022 for River Point Development Phase 1, Project WS 2115. Committee returns same, recommending to accept and award.
Council, your pleasure on this report.
Recommend to accept and award, Mr. Mayor.
Second.
Motion and a second, discussion. Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried unanimously. Anything else, Alderman Cummings?
No, Mr. Mayor, that does conclude our business. Due to a conflict with the Board of Review scheduled for our regularly scheduled meeting in June, the public infrastructure meeting will be moved to June 2nd at 4:30 in the council chambers.
Sounds good. Thank you very much. We'll move then to the Public Safety Committee, and Alderman Bill Schley is chair.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The clerk has the documents.
Document 454 is an ordinance to amend Section 10.730 regulating angle parking within the downtown areas of Chicago, Buffalo, York, and Washington streets. Committee returns same, recommending to adopt the ordinance.
Council, your pleasure on this ordinance.
Move to accept the ordinance.
Second.
Motion and a second, discussion. Alderman Vanderkin.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I talked to a couple of business owners today regarding the angle parking and the parallel parking spaces. And a lot of them are happy that we're losing about, I think it's 23 spaces in this new ordinance. And I don't see why we're doing this now and not waiting till after the two-way street, after the change of two-way streets and committing the resources now and not figuring out until after the two-way street and what our parking needs are at that point. So at this point, I'm not going to support this change to ordinance. Thank you.
Thank you. Alderman Schley.
Okay. As the chair of the committee, I reviewed this with Adam Teagan in a private meeting before we went into committee, and then went out and proceeded to talk to a group which is now up to 17 business owners and people that work in these areas, including Mike Howe, who has the largest, or one of the people that has the largest stake in parking in this particular area. Everybody I spoke to was in agreement with this for a couple of reasons. Number one, Buffalo and York especially. If you have one large pickup truck angle parked on those streets, you have clearance for one vehicle to get through, not two. If you have two extended pickup trucks parked anywhere near each other on either of those streets, you don't have enough clearance safely to pass one vehicle. So everybody was pretty much in agreement on that. The other thing is that I did get to see that the city is vigorously and aggressively pursuing more parking spots and much more than 23 spots. You know, is it going to do some short-term harm? Perhaps. But 23 spots are going to be replaced with a heck of a lot more. I'm not going to get into specific numbers, but the city is pursuing a lot more parking in this general area, and I think these 23 spots in the long run aren't going to be missed. And, well, back to safety. We are the Public Safety Committee. That should be our number one concern, and my largest concern was the safety. I travel frequently in the downtown area, possibly more than anybody on this committee, and I have seen numerous close calls, one of which I was involved in, and it just is not a safe situation right now. This is going to be a journey, not a destination. There may be more changes in the future, but for now, something needs to be done. Two-way streets or not, something has to be done with these areas, and we felt that this is the best for the short term and possibly for the long term. Thank you.
Thank you, Alderman Schley. Alderman Bolt. I'm sorry.
For supporting this is the fact that what the Alderman Schley had stated was a safety of our individuals. We also have to take in fact that that is a big part of our community, and that the first responders also have to get to those areas. And when you put those two large vehicles at any one of those streets side by side, you'd be hindering their response. So therefore, I would definitely be supporting this.
Thank you, Alderman Bolt. Alderman Bry.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Like Alderman Vanderkin, I guess I questioned why we did this, if you recall, and I don't have exact dates, but approximately 7 years ago, I was Chair of Public Safety. And we went to the angled parking because there was a lack of parking in these areas. I am reminded by what Alderman Schley said, and I think it's very true, it's important, but you also have to take into account 7 years ago, look how many businesses have been expanded or I guess moved into these areas downtown. So there is even more crowding. There is more cars and vehicles. I guess when I say this, I don't want to really mean it to a sense, but I guess I'm going to reluctantly support this. But I hope Alderman Schley is right that in the future, we're going to definitely look at different areas of parking and still be innovative like we did 7 years ago, because at the time, angled parking was the right thing to do. So, thank you.
Thank you, Alderman Bry. Any further discussion? I would just add that before this conversation, we did send out letters to businesses that would be affected to invite them to the meeting, and I don't believe any did show. Correct? Well, one did show. So we did send out letters notifying folks that this was potentially coming up. And also in the area that is losing some parking, maybe the most, we did add 45 new parking spots. That's right behind the old Red Cross building there. So we did add quite a few spots. So we might be losing some by going to this new route, but we did add quite a few spots in a lot of the areas that are being affected. Any further discussion? Seeing none, then all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
Motion carries 9-1. Alderman Vanderkin voting no.
Document 455 is a resolution to amend the building inspection fee schedule for sign permits. Committee returns same, recommending to adopt the resolution.
What's your pleasure on this resolution?
Request to approve the resolution.
Second.
Motion and a second. Discussion. Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried unanimously. Anything else, Alderman Schley?
Other than the fact that our next public safety meeting will be on June 13th, right here in the council chambers at 5:30 p.m. And I would also like to extend a thanks to our city attorney for the wonderful job she's done until when I was made chair of the Public Safety Committee. I thought to myself, what could possibly go wrong? And
With you being chair or with?
No, with just,
I mean,
how much time you got? Bottom line is, Kathleen, thank you. You've been there for me every time that I've needed you, and I greatly appreciate everything you've done for myself and for everybody else here. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Very well said. Thank you. We will now take the Plan Commission report.
Document 456 is an ordinance to rezone property located at 2500 Washington Street and the 900 block of South 25th and South 26th Streets. Plan Commission returns same, recommending to adopt the ordinance.
What's your pleasure on this ordinance?
Move to adopt the ordinance, Mr. Mayor.
Second.
Motion and a second. Discussion. Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried unanimously. Any other business for the council at this time? Alderman Sakala.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I know I said it last month, but I'm a new president this month, so thank you, Kathleen.
Yes, I agree. I think we all will share our best wishes for you in your new endeavors. Thank you for everything that you've done for the city of Manitowoc. So one more round of applause for you. Thank you. At this time, I would look for a motion to adjourn. So moved.
Second.
We are adjourned.